To start off with, I think we just want to kind of introduce ourselves and tell us a little bit about our story, like why are we here today at Parkville having this chat. So, Kathy, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Hi, my name's Kathy. I completed a Bachelor of Pharmaceutical Science Advanced Honours in the year of 2020. I'm currently a research and development chemist at Baxter Laboratories. So what we do, we majorly manufacture sunscreens, personal care, as well as prescription and registered products. So today I'm just here to share some of my experience going from university into the industry world.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kerry, and I'm currently an early career pharmacist, so someone that has a little bit less than a decade's worth of experience in the industry. I'm a graduate from the 2022 cohort, completing the Bachelor of Pharmacy and the Master of Pharmacy course. Now I'm currently working as a pharmacist in charge at Chemist Warehouse and as a teaching associate here at Monash. I guess if you're interested in my day-to-day job, so yes, we do tend to a lot of patients, answering patient inquiries, answering phone calls, and really doing what we can to maximize their health.
Excellent. Yeah. So I'm curious, like when I was finishing high school year 12 back in 2019 now, I was kind of struck between, do I want to do engineering or medicine? So when you guys were in high school, VCE or whatever HSC you did, where do you think you wanted to go?
I guess I'll go first. So I actually, funny enough, wanted to become a pharmacist when I was in high school. So, in high school we had work experience and placement chances. So obviously took that chance and looked into completing a placement in pharmacy, seeing what their day-to-day life is. So I did do a hospital placement, and within that I actually found out that I didn't want to become a pharmacist. I wanted to actually be someone who makes the drug behind the counter and deliver it to the pharmacist who will deliver it out to patients nowadays. So,
encouraging me for my soon to start hospital placements. Kerry, what did you want to do?
So in high school, so most of my ambitions, I guess, since I was younger, is that not cliche to say, but yes, I did initially want to become a doctor first, because that was, I thought in my head, the best way I could impact and really give back to the community and really help someone, because that I guess I get a lot of satisfaction and gratitude from patients that really come through my doors. And it wasn't until, I guess, obviously, the bar for medicine is really high. I'm sure you're all aware. But as soon as I guess touched upon this course, and then that kind of really started to change the way I think, and that really got me to really enjoy the career path that I am on now.
That's good. And I suppose, Kerry, did you know that being a pharmacist was a job that existed? Because I know personally, I would never have dreamed of studying or being a pharmacist when I was in year 12.
Yeah. I don't think I ever knew about this profession, I guess, until maybe towards the latter years of my high school. So my cousin initially was a pharmacist as well, so I did have that at the back of my head. But I never really gave it much thought until I'm actually, in the position I'm in now. So, but I wasn't aware of anything else. So definitely I feel like I should have been, hopefully, that's why I guess you guys all here today, is to get an open idea as to what this course can offer.
And I suppose you were talking before about what it's like working in Chemist Warehouse, and I can speak on the side of Priceline. But yeah, I'm interested, Kathy, what does your day-to-day life look like? So
it's half a half job. So you're either in the office or in the lab. So either researching what you want to develop for a customer brief. And then going down into the lab, mixing some things together. So if you love baking, that is your go-to. So obviously there are a lot of unexpected results that come out, but they can be good and bad. So yeah, you essentially just base those off and get your customer satisfaction out of the products that you make.
Having done a science degree, I know a failure is still a result. I think that's a universal kind of thing all the way from undergraduates for a PhD even. But I'm just wondering, like, this goes out to either one of you, so Kerry or Kat, if you can answer first. When you're undertaking your tertiary degrees, what was your favourite part of it?
I guess I'll go first. So I guess my main favourite part is that the actual real life experience you gain from placements and the lessons that you learn, because as much as you can learn the knowledge and the basic skills in a classroom, but nothing compares to actually being in the field and really understanding what it takes to be a pharmacist, because there's a whole wide variety of pharmacist roles, not just if you would know just in community hospital, but so in the pharmaceutical industry, governance, there's all kinds of stuff available. So so that for me is the main thing.
Yeah, I agree. Having worked in a community pharmacy for 2.5 years now, the kind of stuff I've learned at work that I would never have been taught in any of my undergraduate degrees or in pharmacy now, it's just, it's good. You get that experience in your placements for certain pharmacy. But otherwise, what's the best part about pharmaceutical science for you, Kathy?
I guess it is also, I would agree on placement. So obviously I didn't get the opportunity to do a industry placement, so I wasn't sure what that looked like. So obviously I did do my 1 year of honours at Monash University. So you kind of learn the skills of lab, but obviously we're all book smart. We know how to learn from a book. It's applying those skills into the industry, which is a bit difficult, and you find your ways to get to there.
Okay. And coming out of your degree, like, what was it like finding a job? Because at least from the pharmacy perspective, I hear that, pharmaceutical science can be a little difficult in getting a job, but what was your experience in that field?
So personally, because I've only got a research background, going into the industry, that is something I wanted to do after I graduated, because I knew research was not my cup of tea. So obviously looking for a job with other candidates which do have placement or prior internship, it makes it difficult. But obviously I never gave up, and 6 months down the path I landed the job I currently in, and I've been there for 3 years and I'm loving it.
The determination to get where you want to be it's awesome. From the perspective of pharmacy though, Kerry, like internships, after internships, how did we go?
So there is a whole lot of opportunity out there in the community space. Hospital, there is a bit of shortlisting that's involved, a process with any, I guess, job that you try to get into. But I didn't really have any issues finding an internship. I think the main concern for me was to really find a place that actually would commit to my learning and development as a pharmacist, because the internship is really your foundation year, as much as it's cliche to say, but the foundation that will basically set you up for life in terms of the skills and the mindset and the attitude that you need to become a great pharmacist. So that was the main crucial point for me. But really stepping into the industry, you can really you can really pick and choose in the community space where you like to go, essentially.
Yeah, it's really important. I agree fully in finding a pharmacy where they take your education seriously, especially in that foundation year in internships. Because I know, I've heard horror stories of people going into their internships and they're just kind of, it's on the back burner, like they're not learning much. But otherwise, entering the industry, like workplace culture, do you reckon workplace culture in pharmacy, is it okay when you started and is it any different from now? Or
I always say in terms of the latter years, workplace culture I think is obviously influenced by a few factors. One being your leadership team. So if you have a leadership team that truly believes in the values and morals that you would inspire your basically field team or the people that are working under you, then I think you have a great opportunity to really learn and cultivate your own skills. And that does depend on, I guess, which kind of environment you choose to kind of set yourself in.
Yeah.
Now, obviously not everywhere is great, not everywhere is obviously, bad, but you have to really take the time to assess your options, and that is something that you learn over time. And luckily, fortunately for myself, I found an environment which I can really thrive, and I have an owner that I answer to, but she's really, really committed to my development as a pharmacist. So I'm really grateful for that.
And Kathy, what Kerry's just said, do you see any reflection of that in your industry?
I would second that. You definitely, a senior leadership team would kind of bring the good in you. Obviously, the workplace is a real world. It's different from university where you're sheltered. So you kind of have to adapt to certain environments.
Okay. Yeah. And just going on from that, I suppose looking back at where you are, you're back at Monash Parkville. I've got a couple of people here, hopefully interested in studying pharmacy or pharmaceutical science. What advice would you give yourself or our audience here today? What advice would you give yourself going into uni?
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
I guess if I was to really talk back to my high school self, the main thing is that as much as we really want to achieve things instantaneously, but I think looking back, I should have definitely enjoyed the process more. Completing placements, completing other extracurricular activities, really taking in stride the opportunities that are placed in front of you and really throwing yourself as much as you can to those opportunities. And not saying that, you shouldn't, but also taking, for me, it was mainly initiative, persistence, and that drive to really hone my own skills. That was probably, that would be something that I would mention to my past self if I had the chance.
And Kathy, yeah.
Personally, I think I would probably tell myself to, give everything a crack. Don't be scared that you're going to fall. Obviously, there's a lot more ahead of you. Just take every opportunity you can and see where it takes you.
Yeah, I fully agree, both of you. Honestly, just having the privilege to take this panel today, took the day off work to be here. Took the ambassador role, that sort of thing, because I want to be here. I have gone out of my way to, tell people what's it like to study pharmacy, as well as just giving a bit of insight into, day-to-day life of a pharmacy student. It's really important to pick up those extracurricular activities, because I find the community at Parkville, at least, it's really close-knit, and you have so many more opportunities to take here than you might in some larger degrees. I've undertaken the science and the biomed degrees down at Clayton, and coming here, I've only been here for 6 months, and the opportunities that have been presented to me because of the pharmacy faculty, just the lecturers alone who are so passionate in educating us, and the pharmaceutical science faculty as well. Yeah, it's a privilege to be here, and it's a privilege to be able to talk to you two today as well.
Thank you.
Okay. We might hand out to the audience today if anyone has any questions, queries.
I have a question for both Katie and Kerry. Can you tell a little bit more details about what excited you in the current environment? What made you continue to learn, and what you focus on in the next, for example, 5 years?
I guess I'll start. So from my pharmacy side, I guess the main thing is why I guess I want to learn the next 4 5. It's really about revolutionizing exactly how we can further impact patient care from the pharmacy side. So there is a lot of things going on in the background, whether that's the digital health era that's coming through. Pharmacist prescribing is a brand new one that's coming through as well. And for me at the moment is really just trying to take all those in because that will be a crucial factor, because I'm sure at the moment, as you all know, it's very hard to get a GP, an appointment in a day or two, because everyone else is fully booked. So I think this is a great opportunity for us as pharmacists to really have another major impact in patient care. And that's the reason why I'm still here, is because I believe that pharmacy is the path that allows any individual to really make a difference in someone's life, because we are the most accessible healthcare professional in the industry by far, because you can just walk through the doors and then you will have a pharmacist there ready to help you.
I guess for myself, since I've come from an industry side, I do have a passion in sunscreen, so obviously I want to develop something new, something more easy for customers to apply. So like all the audience, it's trying to educate them through products of what we make.
Hi, a question for you, Kerry. I see on the board that you've got that you're also a hospital pharmacist with Peninsula Health. I just wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that.
Of course. So my experience with Peninsula Health so in my first year, I did a hospital clinical research placement with them as part of my volunteering. I guess that was my initial touch with Peninsula. And then following that on, I did other placements with them as well, clinical placements, like Properly Learning. And then beyond that as well, really throwing myself into the COVID clinic that they were offering as well. So I was preparing vaccinations. I'm not too sure if you've been to the clinics, but really at the time when COVID was at a peak, a majority of those doses were prepared by pharmacy students. So I had the fortunate opportunity to really learn something different outside my comfort zone, which was great. And now, even though I'm, officially I'm not currently working at Peninsula at the moment, but I'm very grateful for the fact that they've given me the chance to really tackle all facets of hospital, because hospital in general is definitely, not to say it's more clinical, but you can, if you want to, have the breadth or the variability of what you wish to be able to, I guess, make your career as a hospital pharmacist.
I realised that you said earlier that during your high school days that your school had like a placement program with like a pharmacist, but like my school doesn't have such a program, but I still want to like explore. So do you know like any such placements that's possible, like either in pharmaceutical science or like being a pharmacist?
So I guess you could, if you want to be proactive, you can reach out to certain companies that you're interested. They might be accepting students to take on, like, let's say a 1 week to see what they would do on a daily basis. And probably that would be a good experience to see whether you would enjoy that industry as part of your future career.
I guess from the pharmacy side, so there's no limits to, I guess, because everyone, if you're looking for experience, there are always opportunities available in that space. You don't necessarily need to be having a placement program, which I know some high school programs do offer that, like a 1 day like work-life experience. You want to go somewhere, make sure, obviously, it can be a pharmacy. But you could always, apply for a job at a pharmacy and really observe and actually learn the inner mechanics of how a pharmacy works, because there's always those kinds of opportunities available. So you don't have to necessarily feel like you're limited to just going through high school. There are plenty of pharmacies that will love to take on a high school student and necessarily just show them the ropes and see how things work.
Yeah, I think I can speak on that too. I've only been a pharmacy student for 6 months now, but I've been working in community pharmacy for 2.5 years. So I've been working in a pharmacy before I was a pharmacy student. So look for someone that's hiring, put your resume in. It's good practice. Even just walk in, ask if the owner's in, have a chat. That's the best thing you can do, I think. Yeah, just try and get a job in community pharmacy. Yeah.
Hi, Kathy. This is more of a question direct towards you.
Yep.
In terms of your own career progression in at Baxter in the pharmaceutical industry, how has your career progressed since you graduated, and where do you see yourself going?
I guess for me, I'm still quite early on in my career, so obviously it's slow and steady. Ideally, you do want to climb a ladder up, so you have more senior responsibilities within the company. That's probably my next step. Within it, you've got a lot to learn. You wouldn't know until you enter into the industry. I
suppose adding on to that, is it, like you say, climbing the ladder? Mm-hmm. Is it a very difficult thing to do, or does it get depends on,
I think it depends on your personality or how you develop within the company. If you're valued, you'll be seen.
I think I can add on one more just out of my general curiosity. I mean, Kerry, you've already spoken to, prescribing pharmacists, kind of the future of our profession, but what's pharmaceutical sciences? What are we looking for in like the next 5-10 years? Seeing any changes, major changes?
I think it's just a fast and growing industry, especially for the personal care side. I'm not sure about the pharmaceutical side. So obviously with pharmaceutical, you would be developing innovative medicines to be able to offer to patients. Obviously, I can't speak on that half. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just waiting on the research to come out, I suppose. Fair enough. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to add, Kerry, onto the future of pharmacy? I suppose it's really, like, as a student, it's really exciting for me seeing all these pilots starting.
Yeah, no, definitely, Jack. So I think for pharmacy in general, there's a huge opportunity for growth and expansion. We definitely haven't seen, especially with, AI coming out and stuff. But even with AI, I think there has been recent surveys that even, for example, would you be even comfortable speaking to a robot about your healthcare? Because that lack of human connection is what really drives pharmacy to be what we are, is that because you want to speak to someone that's human, obviously that has emotions. Yeah. And I don't think pharmacists, especially AI, can ever replace that. So, because I've done some testing with some of the software that's currently available, and they're definitely obviously way off the mark.
Yeah,
because
agreed.
And it's still, very, very far away before we see any kind of major developments. And ultimately, being a pharmacist, you can really, pick the pool that you want to jump in, whether that's hospital, community. I might be in community now, but that doesn't mean that I can't necessarily jump into governance, for example, work for the government, because that's an opportunity that I love to tackle perhaps in the future as well.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I agree. Like the future of virtual care, I'm very excited to see where that goes in the next 5 years. I definitely think a lot of pharmacists would share sympathies with you and I that it's definitely going to be growing. Even just, like connecting to our remote and rural communities, it's so important. And that's one of the things we learn about at Parkville as well. Thank you very much for joining us today, otherwise.
Dosa Pharma acknowledges the traditional custodians of the various lands throughout Australia on which we connect today and pays respect to elders past, present and future.